All right, strap yourselves in because we are diving deep into Christopher Nolan's Memento.
Oh, yeah.
This one's a real head scratcher. You guys sent over a YouTube video essay
Mm-hmm.
and the film's Wikipedia page.
Nice.
So a really good combo to work with.
Yeah, I think, we've got a good overview of the plot
Yeah.
from the Wikipedia page, all the, basic facts, critical reception, and then the video essay really digs into
It does.
some of the deeper themes.
It does, yeah. So Memento follows Leonard,
Yes.
who is on this quest for revenge.
Right.
But the catch is he has anterograde amnesia,
Uh-huh.
which means
Yeah, so every time
he blinks, poof,
his short-term memory's gone. He can't form new
we're
memories.
gone. So talk about an uphill battle, right?
Yeah. It's such a mind-bending exploration of memory
Oh, yeah.
and how it shapes our reality.
Exactly.
And I think Nolan just throws us right into Leonard's shoes, experiencing this amnesia firsthand.
Oh, 100%. With the way the film is structured, we are constantly trying to piece things together, just like he is.
Yeah.
Black and white scenes move forward in time.
Right.
Color scenes in reverse.
Uh-huh.
It's a total puzzle box of a film.
Yeah, and it really perfectly mirrors, Leonard's own attempts to make sense of this fragmented reality.
Yes.
He develops this system, right?
He just does.
Of notes and Polaroids and even tattoos.
The tattoos, man.
I know. To keep track of what he thinks is happening.
Can you
It's
imagine
incredible.
relying on tattoos to tell you what to do?
Oh,
I mean, talk about commitment.
yeah. Well, it makes you think about
Yeah.
how reliable is any of this,
Right.
If this is his system,
Oh, how much can he...
how much can we really trust any of it?
Yes. And that's the genius of this film, right?
I think so, yeah.
It forces us to question everything we see.
Mm-hmm.
And take, for example, the story of Sammy Jenkins,
Oh, yeah. Sammy Jenkins.
another amnesiac that Leonard investigated before his own injury.
Right, like a case study almost for him.
Yes. And it seems like a cautionary tale. Pretty straightforward.
Yeah, here's what happens. Until Teddy comes in.
Yeah.
Teddy Frime
Right.
drops the bomb.
That Sammy might actually be Leonard himself.
Yes.
That this whole story is a fabrication.
A repressed memory, possibly.
Yeah. Just throws everything we thought we knew
My mind is blown.
totally out the window,
Yeah.
right? We're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Is Leonard projecting his guilt onto Sammy?
Right.
Is Teddy lying just to further manipulate Leonard?
Yeah.
Or is there something else going on entirely? We have no idea.
It makes you realize how easily memory can be twisted, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And how much we deceive ourselves sometimes without even knowing.
Yeah, subconsciously.
Subconsciously, exactly.
Exactly.
And that's just, scratching the surface
Totally.
of all the deception going on in this film.
Yeah. Speaking of deception,
I was thinking about John Locke,
Okay.
that 17th century philosopher.
Oh, vaguely. Refresh my memory. Remind me.
Okay, so he argued that personal identity is tied to memory,
Okay.
our ability to remember ourselves over time.
Okay.
And I think Memento really visually demonstrates this.
Yes.
Leonard is just constantly struggling to define who he is
Right.
without that continuous sense of self.
Yeah.
And there's that great line where he says, I have to believe in a world outside my own mind. I have to believe that when my eyes are closed, the world's still here.
Powerful.
So powerful
It really is.
about how memory anchors us in reality.
Yeah.
Without it, who are we really?
It's a question that Memento makes us really confront in a very visceral way.
It does.
Yeah, and it's not just about Leonard, right?
No.
It's about us, the audience.
Mhm.
We're complicit in this whole game
Absolutely.
of unreliable narration
Yeah.
that's happening. Yeah, we're right there in his shoes,
Mm-hmm.
experiencing this world through his, fragmented lens.
Fragmented memory.
He trusts his perspective.
Right.
But then the film starts to drop these little hints.
Yeah. Of clues.
Yeah, maybe things aren't what they seem.
Yeah.
It's so brilliant.
It's such a brilliant thriller
Yeah.
because it plays with our expectations.
Yes.
Constantly keeps us guessing.
And it forces us to question, what we think we know.
Absolutely.
Just like Leonard.
Mm-hmm.
We become these detectives, right?
Yeah.
Sifting through clues.
Yeah.
Trying to assemble
Trying to put the pieces
the
together.
coherent narrative. And
Yeah.
just when you think you're starting to get a handle on things,
Right.
Nolan pulls the rug out from under you.
Oh, yeah.
Like the ending.
Ugh. The end.
This explosion of ambiguity
So good.
that leaves you reeling.
Yeah.
Did Leonard actually find his wife's killer a year ago?
Right.
Is Teddy telling the truth about manipulating him?
Yeah.
Is Sammy just like a figment of Leonard's like broken mind?
Yeah.
Ugh,
Like we just don't know.
so good.
And I think that's part of the brilliance.
Yeah.
Is that it just refuses to give us any easy answers.
Right, right.
We're left grappling with this uncertainty,
Totally.
which again mirrors Leonard's own struggle to find any truth
Exactly.
in his world.
Yeah.
It's like Nolan saying, here's the evidence,
Mm-hmm.
you figure it out,
Right.
you decide.
It's amazing.
I love it.
Which is probably why this film has sparked so much debate.
Oh, for sure.
It's like a breeding ground
Yeah.
for theories and
Yeah.
interpretations.
Everyone's got their own take.
Everyone's trying to like piece together
Yeah.
the real story.
Exactly.
And it's almost like
It's a game. He wants us to play this
Yeah.
puzzle
exactly
that we'll never fully solve.
the puzzle will never solve.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
it makes you think about how we all construct these narratives
Oh, yeah.
in our own lives.
Absolutely.
Right.
We're all storytellers.
We tell ourselves stories to make sense of our experiences,
to find meaning.
to give them meaning, exactly.
Yeah.
And sometimes those stories might be based on selective memories
Right.
or even outright fabrications.
Yeah. Sometimes we're just straight up lying to ourselves.
But they help us, navigate the world.
Totally. I mean, I think it's how we, create a sense of order
Yes.
in this often chaotic
It's just
existence.
a chaotic world, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's interesting because it's like Leonard's extreme situation
Yeah.
throws a spotlight on something we all do to some extent.
I think so.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is shape our memories
Yeah.
to fit the narrative we want to believe.
To fit the story we're telling ourselves
Yeah.
about ourselves.
And that's kind of unsettling.
It is. It is. It raises some pretty unsettling questions.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're all capable of distorting our memories,
Yeah.
even subconsciously,
Right.
how can we be sure of anything?
Like, how can we be sure of anything at all? It's
Yeah.
like that Lost in the Mall experiment.
Oh,
right?
yes. The Lost in the Mall experiment.
Where, like, researchers convinced people that they had been lost in a shopping mall as a child.
Right.
Even though it never happened.
It never actually happened.
But just the suggestion was
Yeah.
enough to create this vivid, false memory.
It's crazy.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah, and it's a chilling reminder
Yeah.
of how malleable our memories can be,
Totally.
how easily we can be influenced by external factors.
Yes.
And it ties back to, I think, some of the core themes
Mm-hmm.
we've been talking about with Memento,
Yeah.
this fragility of truth,
Yes.
the power of suggestion,
Uh-huh.
the difficulty of knowing ourselves fully.
So it's like Nolan's suggesting that we are all unreliable narrators.
To some degree.
To some degree, yeah.
I think so.
Shaping our memories to fit the stories we tell ourselves.
The stories we tell.
And if that's true,
Mhm.
what does it mean
Right.
for our sense of identity?
Yeah.
For our understanding of the world?
Huge questions.
Right.
That's the deep dive.
It is a deep dive.
Memento takes us on this psychological roller coaster,
It does.
right? Forcing us to confront these uncomfortable truths
Yeah.
about the nature of memory and self-perception.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we've talked about unreliable narrators
Mm-hmm.
and memory manipulation.
Right.
But there's another layer to this film
Okay.
that I find fascinating.
What's that?
The ethical implications
Oh, yeah.
of it all.
Absolutely. I mean, the film really doesn't shy away from exploring
No, it doesn't.
those moral gray areas.
Yeah.
It asks us to consider,
Mm-hmm.
what are the boundaries of self-deception?
Right.
Can we justify manipulating our own memories,
Yeah.
even if it means achieving
Right.
some sense of justice or purpose?
Yeah, it really makes you think, like, how far is too far?
Yeah.
When does it become, like,
Right.
a problem?
Yeah.
And it's a question that just, like, lingers with you
It really does.
long after the credits roll. Right.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when you see Leonard deciding to, manipulate his own memories
Mhm.
just to keep this quest for revenge alive.
To give himself a reason to keep going.
It chooses to believe a lie
Yeah.
because it gives him a sense of purpose in this world that feels so chaotic and meaningless.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's where the film gets really
Yeah.
thought-provoking.
Provocative
It makes us ask ourselves,
Yeah.
where do we draw the line?
as viewers.
You know,
Yeah.
when does self-deception become harmful? Not just to ourselves,
yeah,
but to
exactly.
others.
Yeah.
Oh.
Is there ever a situation where
Right, exactly.
manipulating our memories or even the
Yeah.
memories of others could be justified?
Right.
It's heavy stuff.
Yeah, it is.
No doubt.
Deep philosophical question.
And I think that's why Memento has resonated with so many people.
I agree.
It's not just a thriller.
Right.
It's like a philosophical exploration of what it means to be human, right?
Yeah.
To exist in this world where memory and perception are so fluid.
Yeah, so easily manipulated.
And it does all of this while being
Yeah.
a gripping, visually stunning
Right.
piece of cinema.
Absolutely.
The way Nolan uses those reverse chronological scenes
Right.
just to like mirror Leonard's experience.
Yeah.
It's just masterful.
Oh, it's masterful filmmaking.
You're not just watching a film, you're like experiencing it.
Yeah, you're right there with them.
Yeah, you're feeling that same
Uh-huh.
disorientation, the uncertainty
Yeah.
that Leonard's grappling with.
It's such a powerful reminder
Yeah.
that reality is subjective,
Mhm.
shaped by our memories, our perceptions, and the stories we choose to believe.
So where do we go from here? We've unpacked a lot, right?
We have.
The plot, the themes,
Mhm.
the critical reception. Like,
Right, yeah.
what's the takeaway
Yeah. Good question.
for our listener who's like dove deep into these sources?
I think ultimately, Memento leaves us with a challenge.
Yeah.
A challenge to be more aware of the stories we tell ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
to question our assumptions,
Yeah.
and to approach information with a critical eye.
Yes.
Especially, in a world where we are just bombarded with information
Oh, yeah.
constantly.
It's from every direction.
Yeah, it's more important than ever
I think so.
to be discerning, to think for ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
and not just accept everything at face value. Right.
Exactly. Especially considering
Yeah.
how easily our memories can be manipulated,
Right. Like we've seen.
like we've been discussing.
Yeah, with the Lost in the Mall experiment,
Yeah.
Leonard's struggles.
You know, we need to be active participants
Yeah.
in constructing our realities.
And recognize that our memories are not infallible
Right.
and that our perceptions can be influenced.
Exactly.
It's about
Yeah.
being aware of our biases,
Mm-hmm.
seeking out diverse perspectives,
Yeah.
being open to the possibility that we might not have all the answers.
That's a great point to end on.
Yeah, I think
It's not about becoming paranoid
right.
or distrusting everything,
No.
but like
Yeah.
cultivating a healthy skepticism and a willingness to engage with different viewpoints.
Different perspectives.
Yeah. And maybe, just maybe,
Mhm.
question those narratives
Yeah.
we hold so dear.
The stories we tell ourselves.
Exactly.
It's healthy to question them.
It is. Well said.
Thank you.
So, to our listener, if you haven't already,
Yeah.
go watch or rewatch Memento
Mhm.
with fresh eyes.
Yes.
I guarantee you'll see it in a whole new light
I think so too.
after this deep dive. And
And-
who knows?
Right.
Maybe you'll even come up with your own theory
Yeah.
about what really happened.
Exactly.
I mean, the beauty of Memento is that
Yeah.
it just, like, invites endless interpretations.
There's no right or wrong answer.
There's no right or wrong answer.
It's all about,
Yeah.
the journey,
The journey.
the exploration,
That's exploration.
and the questions that it provokes.
Beautifully put. And on that note,
Yes.
we'll wrap up
Okay.
this deep dive into Memento.
Sounds good.
Until next time, keep those brains buzzing and
That's
those
right.
memories in check.
Absolutely.
You never know what we'll uncover next time
Right.
on the deep dive.